Hey guys, this is Judgment Child. This is World of Revenge, and just yesterday we took a look at the first Alien movie. So let's continue in new Alien week with the sequel to Alien called Aliens. I gotta say that is one of my favourite titles for a sequel. I always love it when a sequel is so nice to go different. They could have easily called this Alien 2 or Aliens being some kind of subheading, but they decided to get creative and say aliens. We already know how scary one alien could be, but imagine multiple. Or wish they kept up that creativity for the titles of the sequels, but that's neither here or there. Anyways, I was quoting. I used to watch this one after the first. The first one was really good, and I've heard many say that Aliens is the best one. And I gotta say, I don't agree with that statement. And I think this one is a bit of a downgrade. Now, let me say this now. I think that this is a great film. I did really like Aliens. It's just, as compared to this and the first film, I'd be more inclined to watch the first again and this one. And my biggest problem with the film is that the film starts off way too slow. Oh, yes, the first one had a slow pacing too, but I think that really helped the film. It strengthened the horror and made the scenes more intense. And the film I have is quite slow and boring. This is the longest movie in the franchise. I was at 2 hours and 18 minutes, and boy does it show at times. I slowly see in Ripley's life of return to Earth, and then being sent on another mission again and with Marines, who are definitely not as interesting or as enjoyable as the crew from the first film. They also have a new android on the crew. And I did like how they decided to reveal him early. And I do like how Ripley was hesitant at first, considering about what happened to the last android. But this one is honestly really good. And us provides himself to be a solid help to Ripley in the final night. However, the film does often make me forget that he's supposed to be an android, as I just see him as another one of the crew. The film also takes way too long to get into the horror. I'll say now that when it does get into the horror, it is fantastic. Offering a lot of fear and tension, and should leaving me on the edge of my seat, wondering what the next scary movie will be. But it takes too long to see the horror and the alien that I was starting to see import. However, the film did change nearly halfway through and started to get better. That's when and we're introduced to a new child character called Mute, and she is a great addition to the film. Yeah, she's the typical kick I would say that help make the film seem cuter than it already is. But I honestly really loved her bond with Ripley. And I wanted to make sure that both Ripley and Mute stayed okay. I also think Ripley was still a fantastic character in this. In fact, I think Sigourney Weaver definitely improved her performance. Her performance was already phenomenal in the first film. But Eva Tucker was already great in that one, and then improved over on it. I also think the rest of the actors do really good too. And the xenomorph this time is really intense, especially the big one they're escaping in the finale. Like this is like multiple xenomorphs formed together to make this ultimate xenomorph, the scariest and most dangerous one of them all, and it's terrifying, and I love it. But and also, if I have to say where the film is at its peak, it's the third act. I admit I have my flaws with the first two acts, but the third act is nearly flawless. It's non-stop action, horror, and scare. As in, despite I kind of copying the fact as from the main ship having to be sent to self-destruct, it doesn't make a lot more sense of why they have to do it. Where Anne put it into self. Also, so like how the android was still able to help, even if he was cut in half near the end. And that final show, hold on with rips, opening that magazine of who gave me chills. So yes, unlike what many people say, I think Aliens is a downgrade from the first one. It takes a while to get it going. When you barely feel the horror through the first, as to have and some of the side characters feel unnecessary, but it is more than worth it for it to continue on throughout the film. As you're introduced to a child character to a decent android, or some great performances. Is the horror itself is still fantastic, and an incredible third act. So yeah, I'm one of those people that do think Aliens is a downgrade, but I would still definitely call this as a great film. It takes a while to get going, but I really liked it, and I would recommend this to fans of the first film. It's definitely weaker than Ripley's last adventure, and she said, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still a horror classic for a reason, and that's why I'm giving Aliens an 8 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for tomorrow for Alien 3. I hear that as one of the weaker films in the franchise, so I'll have to wait and see. And I'll see you next time. Bye!